note that one of the chief seconds is the Hall of Famer Freddie Roach in the corner of Toka Khan Cleary.
Okay, fellas,
that's a replacement.
Good on both sides, okay? Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you again to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
So Freddie Roach steps in because Toka Khan Cleary's trainer, Hector Bermudez, tested positive for COVID, was not allowed to be here in the bubble. Roach had another fighter on the card, Elvis Rodriguez, who's one of the most dynamic undefeated prospects in the sport, who actually wasn't able to fight on the card tonight because of a positive test. So Roach gets this assignment of having Toka Khan Cleary go up against one of the best young stars in the sport. Tim Bradley, you've described Shakur as having unsurpassed ring concentration, positioning, and that he seems to have a built-in radar system to elude offense. That radar system typically manifests itself very early on. What can Toka do to penetrate that warning system?
Well, Toka, we call him a cutie. You know, he's a boxing type, counter puncher, has some good hand speed, not a whole lot of pop on his shots, but he has experience. He can make things difficult for Shakur. He gives different looks in the front. You see he got a little good defense. He can make Shakur tentative at times to kind of limit his offense.
And both fighters have to adjust to facing another lefty, which is somewhat rare for left-handers to see another lefty. They're typically used to seeing right-handed fighters.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Shakur get hit more in this fight than any other fight. You know, southpaws, like you said, Dre, are not used to fighting other southpaws. They're used to eluding shots from a right-hander, so they have a tendency of moving towards that left hand, the power hand.
Shakur had some early success to the body moments ago, and now a short left hand on the inside. Oh, and he sends him back with a southpaw jab. Stevenson, accuracy. Look at this, and then sneaks a left hand to the body in the midst of that three-punch combination.
It's always the ideal situation is to get some respect early if you're a fighter. If nothing else, buzz the opponent. That allows you to settle down and implement the game plan that you want to implement.
Well, the game plan is simple for Shakur Stevenson. It's just press forward. Toka Khan, he can't fight going backwards. You know, he does well when he comes forward and beat his boss. But when he's going backwards, that's what you see. Hands up and target practice for Shakur Stevenson.
There's been effective body work here in this first round from Shakur. Another left hand to the body. Effective with the jab. Useful left hands to the body. A very strong start. Round number one, Shakur Stevenson.
Now,
these are live images of Masayoshi Nakatani, who is on his way to the hospital here in Vegas via ambulance as a precaution because he's got pain and blurriness in his left eye. He's in good spirits, but we got to recall that he had a broken orbital bone suffered against Teofimo Lopez that kept him out of the ring for 17 months. But everything seems okay with Masayoshi Nakatani as he makes his way to the hospital.
I'll take all the precautions there. Make sure that he's observed after what was a war with Felix Verdejo. Nakatani was knocked down twice up off the canvas, rallied late, scored a thrilling TKO. We have had outstanding action tonight. And now Shakur Stevenson and Toka Khan Cleary, round number two. And he got him with a jab in that first round, Timmy.
Yeah, check out this head-on collision right here. You know, Cleary was coming in with his jab, and so was Shakur Stevenson. Shakur's got his off quicker, right down the middle. Boom. Double impact right there. That's the reason why Cleary was hurt, because he was coming in with his jab, just as Shakur Stevenson was shooting his.
Yeah, Cleary's got a lot of trouble on his hands tonight, but one of the good shot right there from Cleary. He's dealing with a young fighter in Shakur who, yes, we know about the skill, we know about the IQ, but he's physically maturing. He's starting to sit down on his punches. He's punching harder, and he's learning to punch to the body. That spells a lot of trouble for Clary.
Uppercut comes in after the body shot from Stevenson. Great looking combination. And now Toka Khan Clary trying to get to that belt line himself as Stevenson continues to work behind the jab. Doubles up that southpaw jab and goes to the body with the left yet again.
Every time Clary tries to mount an offense, Shakur does what he's supposed to do. He steals the play, he answers Clary and discourages Clary all over again.
And I think discouraging is a great descriptive, being opposite Shakur Stevenson. The sublime skill, the athleticism, the total package. He is sweeping that left hand across the belt line and now tries to split the guard with a straight left.
Clary is a good fighter, but when you're facing this kind of heat, sometimes you can forget that you actually belong in a ring with a guy. Doesn't mean that you can beat him, but he has enough skill to be able to, give Shakur some work and to try to create some offense and make something happen, but he's just not having time to think, and these shots are heavy shots that he's getting hit with.
How challenging is it, Timmy, with what Dre just said, that phrase, not having time to think?
Well, you don't have time to think, you don't have time to set up. Clary is a counterpuncher. That's in his heart. That's what he is. Very cautious, very tentative. He needs space to be able to work. And he does it coming forward. He does it well coming forward with his hand speed. But when he's moving backwards, he can't do anything at all. And Shakur Stevenson has already figured that out.
End of 2. Tim and Dre ringside as we are appreciating the work so far of Shakur Stevenson through 2 rounds. Through 2 rounds, Shakur Stevenson has landed 48% of his body punches. He has landed 13 body punches. He is overall 27 of 85. 23 of those 27 are power connects. Toka Khan Clary is 13 of 94. Landing only 14% of his punches thrown at the elusive Stevenson.
That's the punch that Clary has to continue to throw, is the right jab. But he starts to become enamored with Shakur Stevenson's offense instead of trying to focus on his. He's got to keep that jab going. That jab will allow him to land some other shots.
And then he needs to counterpunch more often. Clary, he's throwing 1 shot at a time. Come back with combinations. When you're getting hit with shots, man, you got to hit the man back. Hit him back. Just don't take it.
Bernardo, what is Freddie Roach saying in the corner of Toka Khan Clary?
Exactly what you would expect from a Freddie Roach corner. He said Toka's got to be first. I mean, he's feeling his power because he's allowing Shakur to get off first. What he needs to do is walk to him.
That's exactly right.
Don't spin it.
Walk to him, be aggressive. Turn it into a dogfight.
It's like if a guy is going to get you and stop you or hurt you, why not try to get your offense off in the meantime? In other words, if you get me, I'm not going to make it easy for you. But those are the kind of discouraging shots that keep Clary with his hands in his pockets and discourages him from throwing because he gets disciplined every time he gets off. But Clary's got to be willing to answer even those shots that Shakur throws, but his mind has got to be in the right place. Right now, he's conceding more than he should be.
Stevenson's so good with that range, isn't he?
He is. He's great. That's what makes Stevenson. He can fight at any range. 1, 2, he's always in control and concentration. That's what it takes to be able to use that skill, and at this level and at this pace, you got to have supreme concentration. He sees everything coming inside that ring.
Won a title at 126 pounds in his 13th pro fight. Vacates that championship now at 130 pounds, and things are clearly lined up if he gets through tonight to claim upwards of 2 titles in the next calendar year.
Stop.
Remember, it was Shakur Stevenson who brought the sport back off of the 3-month absence in the midst of the pandemic. He was the first headliner here at the MGM Grand in the COVID-safe bubble. And now it is Shakur Stevenson who's the headliner for the end of the year spectacular we've been enjoying. The total punches through 3 rounds, 42-20 connect advantage for Shakur Stevenson. And of those 42, 18 of them are to the body. 18 body connects.
If I'm in Toka Clary's corner, I'm telling him, forget about the head, son. You're not going to hit his head. Go down to the man's body. That's what you need to do. Attack his body. Hit something. Hit him on the arms. I don't care where you hit him. You just need to hit him. Let your hands go.
Saw that combination moments ago from Stevenson. Con Clary covers up for a moment. Stevenson lets the hands go.
Only problem with that body attack, Tim, is when Clary hits Shakur to the body, it reminds Shakur to hit Clary to the body.
Yeah, we
Might not be a good idea.
We can be copycats, bro.
Work out. Don't hold. Work out. Work out. Work out. Stop.
If you're Clary, you gotta sell out a little bit more. He told us about his daughter and wanted to make a better life for her. These are the moments and times you got to remember what your motivation is, and sometimes that'll be the difference and help you get by. And if you're Stevenson, keep doing what you're doing. Don't load up on the shots. Place them in the right spot. Eventually, they're going to continue to take a toll.
See, what I like about Stevenson, see, look at he's actually mid-range and almost close inside the pocket. Then he fades out, gets out, then he comes back with offense, then he gets back in, always pressing on the gas. You know, that's frustrating. That's frustrating when you have a guy right in front of you and you can't hit him, Dre.
Yeah.
Very frustrating. Look at that.
4-punch combination. Stevenson's so comfortable, and that left hand to the body consistently working.
You know, straight left to the body test, those are deposits. And those are going to be there when he needs them if this fight continues on in these later rounds. When he goes to that ATM and hits return, it's going to be there. He's doing what he's got to do, making the investment downstairs.
I already see the wear and tear already in Clary. Already. Stationary in front. Not really using his legs at all to get out of range. There to be hit.
You know, if you missed it earlier, we came off that thriller in the SEC between LSU and Florida right into the thriller in the ring. Edgar Berlanga, the guy who came in tonight with 15 straight first-round knockouts. We'll show you how he got to number 16 in a moment. Punch of the Night is brought to you by DraftKings. The punches of the night. Edgar Berlanga now has done it. 16 straight first-round knockouts to start his career. He dismissed Ulysses Sierra, who had never been stopped in his career. And there he is, the pride of New York. Edgar Berlanga, one of the emerging stars in the sport, hanging out ringside to watch Shakur Stevenson. The kid from Brooklyn, who's 16-0 with 16 first-round knockouts, watching the recent champ from Newark, New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson, who is determined to now become a 2-division world champion at 14-0 in there against Toka Clary. Complete control as we start this 5th round. Saw that 5-punch combination, Timmy, in that last round.
Yeah, you see the earmuffs on, the Olympic-style defense coming from Clary. What do? You come around the guard, you come underneath it. That's what the young man is doing. He's taking every opportunity that Clary is giving him. Standing in front, okay, well, I'm going to beat on you. Easy work right there for Shakur Stevenson.
Now, at a certain point for Clary, it's a mindset. Like, are you okay getting hit with a 5-piece like that and not answering what Shakur Stevenson just hit you with? At some point, it's a mindset. It's not about game plan or anything like that. You get hit, do something about it.
Wrapping that left hand around upstairs that time.
Work out. Stop. Watch the holding. Okay. Oh, you hitting the hook? Okay, there we go.
Like that. If you get hit with a 3-piece, your mind should be, how can I get that back?
Work out.
Not how can I defend myself.
Man, when I used to get hit, Dre, I had to get it back like now. You know what I mean? I would get hit, buzz, boom. I got to get it right back. I would get more aggressive when I get hit.
And it would be one thing if Clary didn't have a good offense or didn't have a decent amount of skill. He's got a good skill set and he's got good offense. He just has to let his hands go. Shakur Stevenson is not out skilling him,
he's getting outclassed,
but he's also out-wheeling him right now.
Work out.
Clary's getting outclassed.
Stop.
Everybody Shakur Stevenson has been in with so far in his career has been outclassed. Next year, things are going to be very different. He is going to fight for titles in this new division at 130 pounds, assuming he gets through the. He has already told us that he plans on becoming the WBO champion. He's #1 contender there. Frampton and Herring are going to be fighting soon enough. Then he wants the winner of Burchelt and Valdez, the WBC championship at 130 pounds.
Work out. Bring him up.
You keep going down the list, you keep asking for more names, he'll tell you. Jojo Diaz, Tank Davis, Vasily Lomachenko. It is going to be a fascinating next few years for Shakur Stevenson if it all lines up.
What does it take?
Joe Tim and Trey ringside to see Shakur Stevenson against Toka Khan Cleary. Shakur Stevenson, who has outlanded Toka Khan Cleary 75-27. He has landed 31 body punches so far. His story well told. One of 9 children born to his mother, Malika. Fell in love with training for boxing when he was just 5 years old in Newark, New Jersey. Named after the iconic rapper. His mother saying Tupac was her poet. And fittingly, he grew up in Newark, New Jersey on Ali Boulevard. Life has taken him to Alexandria, Virginia, through the Olympics, onto a blossoming pro career, to a world championship wrapped around his waist, and now trying to attempt to become a 2-division world champion in the course of the next year. Let's check in with Bernardo.
Wally Moses, who is Shakur Stevenson's grandfather as well as his trainer, said, look, we're going to pick up the pace here because he cannot fight going backwards. I see his legs weakening and he's breathing hard. If we pick up the pace, I think we can win this fight before the distance.
Well, you see him picking up the pace of the body, isn't he? Look at that to the belt line. And Toka Khan Cleary says, bring some more.
Tess, listen to me. I like guys that have punching power, but when you have guys like this that have pure skill, okay, he don't have devastating one-punch knockout power in Shakur Stevenson, but he is placing his shots, you know, over and over and over. It's so diminishing if you're the other fighter.
Dre, he's landing 53% of his power punches. 53% of his power punches.
Yeah, he doesn't like to throw unless he feels like he's going to land. And I think one thing we got to realize is all power is not the same. Some guys have the ability to turn your lights out with one shot. Other guys have the ability to beat you up.
Yep.
That thudding power. That's the kind of power that Shakur has right now. It'll discourage you. It'll beat you up. And if it lands in the right spot, it can turn your lights out.
Well, the accumulation of punches over time. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm talking about the one-hitter quitter. If it lands right, don't get it twisted. It can turn your lights out.
Yeah, it's so funny you bring up that adjective because I've said it before. And, you know, I just looked and got a text during the commercial break from Desmond Howard, who just simply wrote, quote, discouraging. The perfect word. Discouraging, says Des.
But Cleary is a veteran fighter, so he knows how to protect himself in that ring. Even though he's being overwhelmed, it's not easy to knock a guy like this out.
You got to beat it out of him.
You got to beat it out of him.
Did you just...
What?
You talk about being in control.
Work.
Giving commentary in the midst of his own fight. Well, at the end of that 6th round, you heard Shakur Stevenson actually in the midst of fighting Toka Khan Cleary talk to Kenny Bayless, yell out to the corner, come back. He was complaining about the holding and things that Toka Khan Cleary are doing. He's anxious to get back to work here, and he does so, doubling up that jab and then going with the left hand to the body. It is a clean sweep on Dre's card, every which way. He has outlanded Toka Khan Clary 93-34. A reminder that SportsCenter is coming up next. Once we get done with this main event, they will wrap up the entire wild day in college football. What a night it was down in the swamp. And of course, if you want any coverage of what we have had here in Vegas, we invite you to go to ESPN Plus and ESPN.com. And you can see everything Edgar Berlanga was able to do with the streak, 16 straight first-round knockouts, including the outstanding fight between Verdejo and Nakatani. Nakatani comes back off the canvas to win with a 9th-round TKO and is now headed to the hospital as the winner to be observed. Some inside work from Toka Khan Clary.
Need to see more of that from Toka Khan Clary. That's what we need to see.
He's getting hit to the body, and I'm talking Clary enough, so he might as well let his hands go and try to get some shots through on Stevenson.
45 times he has absorbed a power punch to the body from Shakur Stevenson. 45 body punch connects for Stevenson.
Clary is tough. Been hit with some big shots to the head and to the body. Clean shots.
Look at that. Look at that. Right inside the pocket, mid-range. Don't even get hit with one shot.
That's your talk.
Stevenson has become a master at his craft. He's getting aggressive with his defense now. Wow.
Oh, some right hand minutes ago here in round 7. And a right hand score as well from Shakur.
I asked Wally Moses what that exchange with Shakur was about, and he said, I asked him for the jab. Shakur yelled, forget the jab, Pop Pop. That was an expletive, though.
Wally Pop Pop, his grandfather, has been training him since he was a little boy. Also have Team USA assistant coach Kay Karoma in that corner.
Nice short. Step back, got a little space. This is just
It's masterful.
just seems just unfair.
Every way he wants to do it, he can do it, including that back power hand. Round number 8 here in Vegas. Shakur Stevenson in complete control, trying to move his mark to 15-0. Want to remind you that Stan and Neil will have SportsCenter from LA as soon as we conclude things here in Vegas with top-ranked boxing. Wild day in college football. They'll have what could be the all-time craziest ending in college football. We had a thriller just before we came on air here with number 6 Florida being upset by LSU. Hope you're enjoying things here from Vegas. Been a wildly entertaining night. This will round out our coverage of boxing in 2020, and then, as has been discussed, we should be in store for mega fights in 21, including Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. The negotiations underway to have an undisputed heavyweight championship fight.
Another problem for Clary is Shakur is not slowing down. He's picking up steam. He's got Clary timed. He's gauged the distance, and he can get off and land anything that he wants right now to the head and to the body. It's a matter of time before that one shot, the one that gets the reaction from Clary, gets through.
Boy, he can generate power in short space, can he?
This is just so beautiful to watch, honestly. He's doing everything right. Shorten his shots when he gets in the inside. Not pulling straight back like we see most fighters do. You know, no wasted movement from Shakur Stevenson. Everything has a purpose.
You know, I think sometimes when people see a fight like this, that, you know, they're yelling at their TV, do something. Clary would love to do something if he could.
If he could.
It gets to a point, Joe, where a fighter no longer wants to win. They're just trying to survive. And I understand that. The self-preservation takes over when you're facing a guy like this.
You know what happens with fights like this when you have a guy that's landing thudding shots like that over and over and over again, and the guy doesn't go anywhere, he doesn't wobble, doesn't do anything? A brain bleed can start. This is the way. This is what happens. Yes.
You hate to go down that path. We have not seen any cause for concern with Toka Khan Cleary, but I understand your point of when we have seen fighters who have suffered extreme damage, it's because of continuously taking shot after shot.
If I'm in Clary's corner, I would stop this
because
match.
of the hopelessness.
I would stop it.
Because you've come to the point where you realize nothing's going to change.
Nothing's going to change. You're not going to get any stronger. You're not going to get any better. You're weakening every single round. You're getting hit more and more. Stop the match.
Dre, I keep pointing to the trend that started early on. Shakur Stevenson's desire to go to the body. It has not stopped. He has landed 56 body punches.
That's the difference maker. You know, early on, Shakur was almost exclusively to the head, but he's slowly but surely learning how to work to the body, placing those shots inside like that, where he doesn't allow an opponent an opportunity to rest. And he's also continuing the draining process so the beautiful headshots can continue to land.
No, I want 3. I want a third one. I want a third one. I want 3 now. Okay? Good. Bring the 3. Bring a third one. Bring 3.
He's gonna fight this guy. He's gonna fight this guy. Come on.
I wouldn't stop this fight at this point. Cleary, you know, he's not showing me anything that would make me want to throw the towel in or stop the fight in the corner. This young man is a fighter. He's fought for most of his life. And give him an opportunity to try to make something happen in these 2 rounds.
Oh, he gonna try to make something happen? Don't have the punching power, getting beat up.
I hear you.
Getting everything taken away from him, just taking nothing but leather. Come on, stop the match,
Negative
man.
Nancy, come on, Timmy.
No, what you mean negative Nancy? He don't have a chance.
Look,
he's not gonna land anything.
We see what Shakur is doing. It's clear to see, but this kid is also a fighter. He's a full-time fighter. Let him finish the fight.
And sometimes you don't need to see anything drastic happen before you stop a match.
Well, let me pose this to you, gentlemen. The person who normally works with him, who's able to assess him day in and day out, who knows what he's capable of, what his punch resistance is, what he can withstand, how he should look, is not with him. Hector Bermudez, his trainer, tested positive for COVID, so he's not allowed to be here in the bubble. Freddie Roach, who has seen it all in the business, is the Hall of Fame trainer, most famed with working with Manny Pacquiao. He's seen it all, but he doesn't work with Toka Khan Cleary. He's a late replacement trainer.
For me, it don't matter. Trainer or no trainer. When a fight break out, you're going to fight. You know, if you get in a street fight, let's just say that, you going to be looking for your trainer? No.
No, but I'm saying in terms of assessing what he knows his guy to be and if they should pull the plug.
Roach has worked with Cleary before. He has worked with him before. Nice jab right
halfway through round 9.
It's kind of ironic, Tim, who never took a backward step, is talking about a fight stopping.
Exactly, a guy who's in the fight of the year.
But I ain't got whipping. I ain't got a whipping like this. I ain't never get a whipping like this.
Oh man, Timmy.
Bro, come on. When have I ever got a whipping like this?
And if you're Stevenson,
nice
you want to get this knockout. You want to try to find a way to get a shot through, be it to the head or to the body. Got a little over a round to try to make that happen.
Another 3-punch combination from Stevenson.
He's talking to his trainer. I did.
That's the level of comfort and control.
My goodness.
And now right hand digs to the body. 1 round to go here with Shakur Stevenson and Toka Khan Cleary.
Next time.
Touch him up, guys.
10th and final round here from Vegas. Complete domination for Shakur Stevenson. A 10-round fight. Of course, he was recently a world champion at 126 pounds. Vacated that belt because he wants to move up here to the 130-pound division to become a 2-division world champion.
Let me make something clear.
Please.
I'm not asking Clary to quit. No, I'm not asking Clary to quit. I'm saying, Freddie Roach, step in there and save your man. That's what I'm asking. I don't want to confuse anybody.
Dominating performance from Stevenson. 139 punches landed to 46. I mean, that's the average we talked about, right? 4-point-something punches landed per round against Stevenson. Just absurd number.
Yes, it is.
He hits you, you don't hit him. Sky's the limit for this young man, isn't it? And he's in what is, interestingly, the lower weight classes. It's a new golden era. I mean, we know how loaded 135 pounds is. The division he's now in, 130 pounds. What he just came from at 126. Much of the attention of the sport are in these lower weight classes with young, talented, rising stars, a mix of some veterans. 5 pounds north of here, we just saw a 23-year-old from New York become an undisputed world champion in Teofimo Lopez.
Ooh, nice right.
Short
nice.
left hand by Stevenson does damage.
Yep.
Got his attention.
Right there on the temple.
And you see him trying to reach out and hold right now.
He's still hurt.
He is. Toka Khan Clary is not on stable legs after that left hand. And another one comes in from Shakur.
Hit him in the same spot, Tess.
Don't complicate it, okay? Where is it?
Credit to Clary. He's tough.
He is.
Very, very tough.
He's been through much in life.
He's been in survival mode since round 2.
That's okay, Tim, but he could have packed it in, and he didn't.
That's why things are difficult for Shakur Stevenson to get the knockout. He got to try to create it. And that's what he's trying to do.
I'm not a guy who writes guys off because they get outclassed. I respect what I'm seeing here. Obviously he's dealing with one of the best 130-pounders in the world right now. And he could have packed it in and said my shoulder hurt and, you know, my foot hurt. We've seen that happen time and time again. He fought his way through and he finished the fight. Respect to him.
Respect. That he did, Dre.
This was a surprise addition to Shakur Stevenson's fight calendar. WBC junior lightweight world titleist Miguel Burchelt tested positive for COVID, had to scratch the fight against Oscar Valdez. Shakur said, I'm ready. Give me the spot. Give me a little TV prime time with the spotlights. And he's always been in the spotlight his entire career through a world championship. It was billed as a showcase against a southpaw of what will be a run of potential blockbuster southpaws ahead. And he gave it everything you'd expect him to. Landing 151 total punches. Landing 64 body shots. How do you grade things out?
Masterclass performance for Shakur Stevenson. No fantastic work. He took every single weapon away from Clary and made him pay for every mistake that he did. Beautiful jab right there from Shakur Stevenson. Setting up body shots. Everything Clary gave him, he took advantage of it.
Shakur did everything tonight except probably get the knockout, but that's okay because you see the power increasing more and more, the physical strength. You see the variation of punches. Now he's introducing the inside game, short shots to the body. And the scary part is, fellas, he's not in his prime. Yep. He's approaching his prime. That's going to be a problem for a lot of 130-pounders in this division.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Are you seeing that percentage that says 9? 9% of total punches landed?
Very stingy on the defensive end.
9%?
Yes.
See why he's on my pound-for-pound list?
4.8 per round. We told you 4.3 is what he came in averaging. 9% is all Toka Khan Clary was able to hit Shakur Stevenson with. Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, scorecards for the official decision. All three judges at ringside turn in identical scores of 100 to 90. For your winner by unanimous decision, Shakur Stevenson!
15-0 is Shakur Stevenson. Sports Center is coming up next. The full day in college football was a wild one, and we will hear from Shakur Stevenson when we return to Vegas. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.